Hey guys, what's up? Ajay here from Maple Assistance. Hope you guys are doing great. We all know that the draws are going to resume in the month of July. But there are three questions that is actually going on in the mind of every person who's there in the express entry pool and in the minds of all the people who are expecting to enter the express entry pool. Number one, what would be the size of the draw? Number two, what would be the CRS score range for 2022? And number three, what would be the processing time if I get an ITA in this particular year? So in this video, I'm going to quickly take you to my screen and we'll try to figure out an answer for all these three questions. Well guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and please don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get instant notification on any new video that comes from Maple Assistance. Without any further ado, let's jump into the screens. Well guys, now let's quickly take a look at the immigration level plans. So the immigration level plan for the year 2022 is 55,900 and we already know that this particular level has already been taken care by the last year's excess. So this 55,900 has already been done. So once the draw resumes this year from July, so they are going to target or the expected number of invitations will be based on this particular target, right? So this target is 2023. So predominantly they are going to try and fill 2023 target in the next 6 months, right? So what is the target here? The target is 75,750. So this is something that you'll have to clearly understand, because only when you understand the target, you will understand the number of invitations that will be issued. So the target for 2023 is 75,750 and IRCC is going to try and fulfill this particular target in the next 6 months, starting from July 2022 till December 2022. So that's what's going to be the plan, right? So there is a high range and low range, but let's not take that. Let's take the ideal range. Okay, so let's stick to 75,750. So I hope you guys are clear with this particular thing. Now that you understand the target, right? So the target for 2023 is 75,750 landed immigrants. Okay. So this is the target. You can check it out here in the first box, like 75,750 is the target for 2023. So they are going to try fill this thing up in the next 6 months. On an average, okay, so this is again very important, the number of people per application on an average. So when you are applying for a Canadian PR visa, on an average, like a single applicant will be applying, husband and wife will be applying, husband and wife with kids will also be applying. So on an average, like one application means close to about 2.5 people, right? So I'm not taking in this 2.5, I'm just sticking to 2. Okay, on an average it is 2 people, like in one application 2 people will get PR, just assuming this thing. Okay, a general assumption. All right, so if this is the assumption, then the total number of ITAs to be issued in order to achieve the target of 75,750 would be 37,875. Simple mathematics, divide 75,750 divided by 2, you get this particular number. All right, and this is another thing that you need to consider. Okay, so there will be a lot of dummy profiles in the pool, right? So people will just be creating a profile to check their CRS score, to check their eligibility, just to see how express entry profile works, right? So all these things people would try to do it, right? So some people would also decline the ITAs. There will be some rejection in ITAs as well, right? So considering all these things, I'm just giving a rough figure of 7,500, right? So I'm giving a 20% from this particular number, a rough figure 7,500. So now the overall invitations to be issued from July to December in order to achieve this particular target of 75,700 would be close to about 47,375. So how did I come up with this particular number? Just added 37,875 and 7,500. So we come up with this particular number, right? So we also know that the draws would happen once in 2 weeks. So that is bi-weekly draws. So in a month, we will have 2 draws. So we are having 6 months. So 6 months into 2 draws is we'll have a total of 12 draws from starting from July till December. We are expected to have 12 draws, right? So what would be the average ITA per draw? It's very simple. 45,375 divided by 12, that is 3,785. This is the number of invitations that we should expect in a particular draw, right? So it's quickly made a small chart for the same. So the total number of landed residents would be somewhere around 75,750, and the number of people per application is 2, and the total number of invitations to be issued in order to achieve this target is just below 40,000, and there will be dummy profiles ejections close to about 7,500. So the overall issue ITAs to be issued from July will be 45,000 and odd. Considering the bi-weekly draws, we will have close to about 3,781 invitations issued per draw in order to achieve our target. Well guys, now let's take a look at the CRS score distribution of candidates in the express entry pool as on May 9, 2022. So the first level that you need to take a look at is from 600 to 1,200. So that is the PNP. So let's not worry about the PNP part. The concerning one is here, like people who are above the scores 500 to 600. Okay, so 6,972, close to about 7,000 candidates are there in the pool with the CRS score above 500. So these are the people who must be having a doctorate degree or a Canadian degree, or they must have taken French, or they must have had some job offers. That's the only way they could actually take the scores above 500, right? So 7,000 people are there in the express entry pool as on May 9, 2022 with the scores above 500. Okay. Now coming to the scores, score range 491 to 500, we have close to about 3,639 people. Okay, 3,700 odd people in this particular score range, and 481 to 490. All right. So this again. The number of people is again another 7,000 people in this particular score range, and 471 to 480, it's again jam packed with 15,760. So assuming that we already saw that the number of invitations that has to be issued in a draw will be close to about 3,781, right? So assuming that particular number, it will take close to about 2 draws for this particular number to get wiped off. When I say like 2 draws, it's 3,700 into 2, which is 7,400, but the number here is 6,900. You might be asking, where is what happened to that 400 difference? You'll have to understand the fact that the CRS pool is dynamic, right? Which means people keep entering the pool, right? So I'm just giving allowance for that. So a 2 draws for the scores to wipe off everyone above the score range 500, right? And another 1 draw would wipe off the people who are in the score range 491 to 500. Another 2 to 3 draws for this particular score range 481 to 490 to get cleared, right? So 471 to 480, we can expect the score to drop to 470s level once we have close to about 5 to 6 draws. So assuming the draws resuming in the month of July, so it's July, August, September, mostly by October, November, if everything goes well, the score might actually come down to 470s level. So there are chances for the scores to drop quickly if we have a back-to-back draw, or if the number of invitations per draw is increased. Okay, so instead of 3,700 odd invitations, if they are going with 5,000 invitations or 6,000 invitations like how they did in the past, then again the CRS score would drop quickly to the 470s level. So that's something that I want to tell you about the CRS score range. So this is how it's going to be this year. So I personally believe that the CRS score range will be above 470 this year. It's not going to drop below 470 is what I believe. So any score above 470 or the high 470s should be in a position to fetch an ITA by end of this year. Well, guys, now let's take a look at the processing time. Ever since the pandemic hit, the processing time has taken a very big toll, and it has been really crazy. Like we are still seeing people who have a 2019 AOR, 2020 AOR still not have got their PR stamped, right? So it's really crazy. It's a concerning thing actually. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm in the IRCC's website. Now let's quickly go and give our details for the federal skilled worker program. Let's try to understand what's the processing time. So the express entry processing time for the federal skilled worker program, which is mentioned in Government of Canada's website, says it is 27 months. 27 months is 2 years and a quarter. It's really crazy. But don't worry, I have some good news. So um, this is again a recent news, which was out on May 13th, right? Minister Fraser says the processing standards could return to normal by end of calendar year, which is a much needed news at this point in time. So what is the service standard? Service standard for FSW is actually 6 months, and Fraser has actually said that by end of this year, by December 2022, the processing time could reach the service standard. So which is actually a great news. You can check this out on cicnews.com. You can read the full thing, and they have allocated a huge budget. You can check it out here. It's close to about 827 million in order to bring down the processing time and stuff. So I probably think that. So what's going to be the practical timeline for people who get an invitation between July to December? So that's a very important question. I believe that the people who are getting an ITA between July and December this year, their files might get processed under 12 to 15 months time. So I don't believe the fact that it's going to come to 6 months time all of a sudden, but for sure it might actually get processed within 12 months time, right? So IRCC is putting a lot of effort in clearing the backlogs. So I'm pretty sure in another 6 months time, they should be able to clear out all the backlogs, and they should be in a position to, take up the files and finish it off under 12 months. So under 12 months itself is a great thing for all the people who are going to receive an ITA between July and December. So this is what is going to be the processing time. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. So now let me quickly summarize what happened in this particular video. The number of invitations issued per draw is expected to be around 3,781, and the CRS score range for this year is probably going to be around high 470s to the 500. It will start above 500 and it's going to come down to the high 470s, and the processing time is expected to be anywhere between 12 months or under. So that's the thing. Now, what should you do if you want to get an invitation this year? If your scores are close to 470, try to retake your IELTS, try to get that CLB 10 and all the modules so that you get those additional points, and try to take your scores above 470, 475, which will give you a very good chance to get an invitation this year. Even if you're not able to take it to 480s or 475, don't worry, because the draws are going to continue. It's not going to stop by this year. It's going to continue next year as well. So the next year we are going to have a new target. I'm pretty sure 2023 we'll be having increased target. So there's a very good chance for the CRS score to come down. So please don't give up on your Canadian dream. Give your best shot with your IELTS. Try to increase your CRS score, and I hope you get your invitation at the earliest. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts below. So until I see you again, this is Ajay signing off. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.